365 Sports.
Welcome back to another episode of 365 Sports Mizzou, brought to you by Rogue Media. My name is Davis Wilson, your host, per usual. It is Thursday morning where I am, early Thursday morning. It's, if anyone's curious about the weather in Dallas, it's warmer today. It is, so the ice and snow is starting to melt. We start to move around a little bit more. It's 39 degrees, so it'll melt, and it's going to get up to 55. So, things are happening today in Dallas. I don't know how the rest of the country is, but seems like we're on the other side of, at least, in Texas, we don't get any of this. When I was in Missouri, we got it a lot. But in Texas, it's like you get a significant snow/ice event like once every 3 or 4 years. Other than that, it may snow one day and then it melts the next. But, we've had snow on the ground since Saturday, and, that doesn't happen very much here. So it's kind of been fun. But it's going to be good to have that behind us. We've got a few things to talk about today. Nothing really that important or pertinent, but I figured I'd do a show because there are some things to say. It's probably going to be a quick show. It's kind of a slow season. Basketball only plays a couple times. I'll talk about basketball a little bit, but there's only so much you can really do there with a team that is playing like Missouri is. And then football, obviously, done. Off-season's pretty much, the exciting part of the off-season where you make new additions is pretty much done. So it'll be kind of a slow period, but I got some topics, so we'll go over those now. We'll start with football. There's a new commitment in the high school class, 2026 class. Graham Faust is a safety from St. Louis. He went to Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day. Doesn't have a ranking in 247, but he had offers from Air Force, Eastern Michigan, Miami, Ohio, Missouri State. He is coming to Missouri. They don't really do. So what's interesting now is that when the SEC agreed to bump up the scholarship count, I think I don't remember how much it's up now, but there's no more really walk-ons. It's either you get only scholarship, which means you just get a full ride scholarship to come play, but no NIL, or you get NIL. And this is just a scholarship only deal. His dad, Vic Faust, played tight end for Missouri back in the day. Let's see. Here's his stats. He had 94 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble last season. He's 6'3". I always like signing a local guy, I think that it's fun, and these kids are usually really motivated, the walk-on type. But again, they have 20 more scholarship spots than they did last year, so they have a lot more scholarships to give out, which I think is cool for these kids, these recruits. But he is in the fold now. I think that's the 19th addition to the maybe 20 something. Here, I can look it up. I have my computer right in front of me. Let's see. Missouri's up to, looks like 20-ish. It's hard to really tell. I think 20. Or no, 24. 24. There you go. I think we're up to 24 players in the class. So good stuff there for Missouri. That is all the news in terms of the new players. There have been other commits though that I haven't talked about. I guess I'll do this. There's been 5 commits since early signing day the early signing period ended. So since then they've signed 5 players. Jacquez Felix is a guy I think I did talk about from Cardinal Raider, committed earlier this month, a 3-star. You have, let's see, on the 18th, they had 2 commits. One was Treshunda Neal from Liberty, Missouri, cornerback, 3-star cornerback. Also on the 18th was Karsten Feen, a 3-star receiver from Lee's Summit. And then there was Preston Hatfield, a 3-star running back, also from Lee's Summit. And then today you have Graham Faust, a safety from Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day. So that's 5 new additions to the 2026 class and the 24th overall. So there you go. I've been seeing a lot of Senior Day content on my Twitter feed. I'm sure all you Missouri fans have been seeing it too, but I've seen a lot of stuff on Zion Young. I've seen some stuff on Kevin Coleman Jr. I've seen some stuff on Chris McClellan. It seems like those guys are excelling. I mean, Zion Young, there's been some violent videos of him bowling over offensive tackles, making it look really easy, which is pretty. I mean, if you watched Mizzou this year, you knew. You knew that he could do that, and you knew that he was capable of that. But everybody else is finding out. I think there's a chance that he, goes fairly. I mean, I don't know if he'll be a first-round pick, although I still do see mock drafts that say he could be a first-round pick. It's hard to really know, though, what exactly everyone's going to do. But CBS Sports put out a top draft prospect rankings, and they have a couple of Missouri guys in there. Josiah Trotter is ranked as the 44th best prospect in this class, which I think is awesome. That's, right in the second round range. I don't know where he'll be taken, but CBS Sports has him at 44th. Chris McClellan is at 63rd, which, I saw a tweet about him recently where he was having a big moment in the Senior Bowl. Kevin Coleman Jr. is 105th. Zion Young is 110th. I think that's kind of crazy. Zion Young, I don't know. And then Keegan Trost is 134th, and that is it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the top 150 prospect rankings for Missouri. So pretty good stuff. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go on Twitter, look up Zion Young. You'll see some great videos of him dominating. Do the same thing with Kevin Coleman Jr. He looks fast out there, really. And we knew that, but go look at those because those are pretty exciting. Missouri confirmed the hires of a couple of new assistants. So Drinkwitz, in his contract extension or new contract, he got an increased salary pool for his assistant coaches, and he's putting that to use this season. A couple of really, to me, I mean, I don't know all that much about assistants on the college level, to be honest with you. I'm not going to act like I'm a specialist, but there are a couple guys that I do recognize, and that I think when you're adding guys that I recognize to your assistant staff, I think that's a really good sign. We'll start. John Papuchis is going to be the new special teams coordinator. Missouri fans will be happy to know that no longer will Eric Link be the guy there. Missouri special teams woes this season were so frustrating to watch. So hopefully John Papuchis can make it better. I think he was at Florida State for 6 years prior to coming over to Missouri this year. Alex Atkins is the new tight ends coach. Missouri's old tight ends coach followed Kirby Moore to Washington State. So now they have Alex Atkins, who spent time at both both LSU and Florida State. So there's a new addition. All right, this is a guy that I was really excited about. I remember when Missouri started to need a new offensive coordinator after Kirby Moore took the job in Pullman. I started looking at, potential replacements for him, and Garrett Riley was a guy that I wanted to be the OC. I wanted him to be the offensive coordinator. He's been the offensive coordinator for SMU previously. TCU, he helped bring TCU to the national championship game. And then he won the Broyles Award, which is the award given to the top assistant each year. He won the Broyles Award that season, left TCU, went to work under Dabo Swinney at Clemson, has been at Clemson for a couple of years. Missouri does not get him as the offensive coordinator. Obviously, Chip Lindsey from Michigan is the OC, but they do get him in here to coach quarterbacks, which I think is really awesome. This guy helped coach Max Duggan, Cade Klubnik. I'm sure there was a good quarterback at SMU at that point. I'm trying to remember who it would be. Let me see if I can find out. Actually, I'm sure it's a good player. 2021 SMU quarterback. Let's try that. Tanner Mordecai. Yeah, Tanner Mordecai was I think he had a good year. I mean, I know that SMU had a good year because Sonny Dykes left after that to take over TCU. Let me see if I can find Tanner Mordecai's stats. Yeah, career high in passing yards, career high in touchdowns. He threw a career high 454 passing attempts for 3,628 yards, 39 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 302.3 yards per game. That was under Garrett Riley. And then Max Duggan was a Heisman runner-up the next year. Garrett Riley went to TCU, coached Max Duggan. Should have won the Heisman, but Caleb Williams, I guess, is pretty good. Then he went to Clemson and coached Cade Klubnik, who was a Heisman favorite, it seemed like, every season. Never quite got there, but he was the offensive coordinator there. He will be the quarterback coach here. He's going to help out Austin Simmons, hopefully. He's going to help the development of Matt Zollers, hopefully. They're also bringing in Brendan Bogner to be the assistant. He will be the assistant quarterback coach. I believe he comes from Florida State. I want to say he's coached. I know he's coached kind of all around. But I think he was at Florida State previously. Yeah, he was. And he worked with Chip Lindsey at Troy. So there you go. There's some good stuff. Luke Meadows will be the assistant offensive line coach. He's coached at Northern Illinois, FAU, Southern Miss, Eastern Michigan, Kansas, and Troy. He's been all over the map. He'll be the assistant offensive line coach. Lavorne Chop Harbin spent a lot of time at Tennessee previously. He is the defensive line coach for Missouri. Apparently, he's really a great recruiter. And I think that's awesome, getting in good recruiters, but also a great nickname. His name's Lavorne. So his name is not actually Chop, but he's got a great nickname, Chop, which I think is awesome. And yeah, I think he'll be the defensive line coach. And obviously Brian Early, he coaches the edge rusher. So I guess they'll kind of work in tandem. but he spent the last 5 years at Tennessee. And yeah, he was a big-time recruiter for Tennessee, according to Matt Zenitz. So there you go. Chop Harbin. And then that's the extent of all the new assistants hired. But a couple of the old assistants received kind of promotions of some sort. Derek Nicholson, who came over from Miami a couple of years ago, he's the linebacker coach. He was promoted to co-defensive coordinator. So congratulations to Derek Nicholson. That's pretty cool. Brian Early, who is the edge rusher coach, came from Houston a couple seasons ago. He was the edge rushers coach this year. He'll continue to coach the edge rushers, but he will also be the pass rush specialist. Don't know what that entails, but there you go. And lastly, Jacob Yoro was the safeties coach this past season. He will be the safeties coach, and he will also be the pass game coordinator at Missouri this year. So all sorts of different stuff shaking up on the coaching staff. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will talk a little bit of basketball before we get out of here.
NFL playoffs, let's go! All right, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every moment feel bigger. In the postseason, the game shifts fast, and with DraftKings live betting options, you can stay right in the moment. Make every moment matter this NFL postseason with DraftKings. I am really looking forward to the third time's the charm matchup with the Bills and the Patriots. Plus, DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. With DraftKings, you're covered through the entire half. Why bet player props anywhere else? New customers, here's your shot. Bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code ALLMIZZOU. That's code ALLMIZZOU to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Okay. Back. Let's talk a little bit of basketball. Missouri coming off a loss to Alabama. Not just a loss, a blowout loss. It was terrible. It just was super deflating. I mean, nobody really played that well. Like Anthony Robinson Jr., it's like, is this guy still a good player? I don't even know. Like, it's tough because he was a guy Missouri was counting on. He has not been good for the last couple games, and really he hasn't been the same type of guy all season. Anar Boateng has not lived up to the hype at all after a good performance in the scrimmage against Kansas State in the preseason. He has done nothing at all. I think that has hurt this team. All that to say, though, they're still not technically out of it. They obviously have to start winning some games. They have to put together some win streaks, but they can still find their way into the postseason. They're still, kind of teetering on the bubble. So I think that at least you have that to, if you're a fan, you have that to hold on to. Like you can, if they could turn it around, they could still make the tournament. They're the 59th rated team in KenPom.com rankings. They're the 73rd best team in the net rankings, and they're the 69th best team in Torvik rankings. CBS Sports put out a bracketology this morning, and Missouri was the second team in the last four in. So they are hanging on. Somehow they are hanging on. I really expected that they would not be on the bubble anymore. It was a pretty tough loss. The other teams, just look to think of this, the other teams in the last four in column on this bracketology, they are New Mexico, who has a net ranking of 39, St. Mary's, who has a net ranking of 29, and then San Diego State has a net ranking of 47. Missouri is there with a net ranking of 73. And then the first four out have net rank. Seton Hall has a net ranking of 57. Virginia Tech has a net ranking of 55. Texas has a net ranking of 38. TCU has a net ranking of 44. The resume is not good right now. I mean, what's really going to hurt Missouri is their non-conference was atrocious. They played pretty much one competitive game. I mean, in non-conference, up until Kansas, they played Minnesota, who they blew out, but Minnesota Minnesota hasn't been a world beater by any means. They're 82nd in KenPom ranking. They are, let me try to find what they are in net ranking. They're 83rd in net ranking. So that's not a very impressive win right now. And then they played Notre Dame and lost to Notre Dame, which is really going to hurt them. Notre Dame is 79th in KenPom. They are 11-10 overall. That's pretty good. Notre Dame is 82nd in net ranking. What did I say last time? They're 79 in KenPom, 82nd in net ranking, only one spot ahead of Minnesota. So that's terrible. Like your out of conference, non-conference schedule was terrible. And then you finally play some good teams. You play Kansas, you get obliterated by Kansas, which, by the way, would have been an awesome win. Kansas is, come on, show me. Where's Kansas? Why is it not showing me Kansas? Kansas is so bad that they didn't even qualify for net ranking. I'm just kidding, but I actually can't find Kansas on here. Let me try KenPom. Kansas is 14th on KenPom. That would have been a great win. And then they played, both of these games were on neutral sites, by the way. Then they played Illinois. Illinois is, why is it not showing me these teams? I know Illinois is good. Fourth. Illinois is fourth in KenPom. That would have been a great win, and they got obliterated by them. So it's not really that those losses to Illinois, they're fifth in net ranking, by the way. The losses to Illinois and Kansas weren't bad losses in and of itself. But the fact that you had no other good wins in non-conference, I think that is the bad thing. Like it's obviously Missouri fans want to beat Kansas and Illinois every year, but they're both good teams this season. It's not that they lost to those teams; it's how they lost. They were obliterated in both games, completely not competitive in either game. And it was also the fact that those were the only two chances you had to pick up a quality non-conference win, and you blew them both. Now, SEC play starts, and obviously in SEC, you're going to have plenty of chances to pick up good wins, and they did right off the bat with Florida and Kentucky. And then now they've faltered again. They've lost to Ole Miss. They've lost to LSU. They've lost to Alabama. Ole Miss, LSU, close losses. Who else? They lost to another team, too. Who was it? It was, who the hell else did they lose to? It was Ole Miss, LSU, and Georgia, yeah. And Ole Miss was a 7-point loss that went late into the game. Missouri could have won it. LSU was an 8-point loss that, again, it was kind of like LSU kind of ran away at the end, but it was close in the second half. Georgia was a 2-point loss on a game winner. So those three losses are going to kill you. Like, you got to pick up one of those. And obviously, Missouri has wins over Florida, Kentucky, Auburn. Auburn's playing well right now. And then Oklahoma. And now they lose a blowout game to Alabama. There are still opportunities to pick up big wins, okay? There are. You have – let me find the schedule. You have Mississippi State coming up, South Carolina coming up. I don't know if either of those teams – I don't think either of those teams are in this edition of the bracketology by CBS Sports. But the next game you play Texas A&M, they are. Then you play Texas, they're a bubble team. Then you play Vanderbilt, they are definitely in the field, very good team. Then you play Arkansas, definitely in the field. Then you play Tennessee, definitely in the field. Basically, the point I'm trying to get at here is that there are opportunities to play other tournament teams, and you have to win them. You kind of have to win them. Then they play Mississippi State again. They play Oklahoma again. Then they finish the season with another game against Arkansas. So there you go. They have opportunities to win, but with the way they're playing right now, is not encouraging in the slightest. So, they've got to, it's not over. It's very frustrating. I understand if you're frustrated with this team, but they're on the bubble. And if they don't, obviously their non-conference was terrible, so they can't rely on that. So they've got to go on a win streak. And if they don't, they're not going to make the tournament. So there's your update. That's all I have to say. Thanks for joining me. I'll probably be back tomorrow. We'll see, but I do appreciate you guys for joining me. That's all I have. Missouri basketball not out of it officially, but it's bleak. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Stay warm, stay safe and everything, and peace out.
365 Sports.